it's part 2 of my review of Vita Liberata 2 to 3 week tan. Yay! To start off with, it's good, but it's not as good as I thought it would be. It didn't last the whole 2 to 3 weeks or however long. It lasted on my skin 10 days. I think this is mainly due to the fact that my skin is very, very dry. And because it's a mousse, it dried my skin out quite a lot, which is probably why it didn't last. Although it has lasted a lot longer than any other fake tan that I've ever used, so that's obviously a bonus. It's, you know, normal fake tans usually last me, 5 days maximum. This lasted me 10 before it started to go patchy. I mean, I've scrubbed it all off now. I'm pale again now anyway, but yeah, it's lovely. The colour, for me, it wasn't quite dark enough. On the instructions, it tells you to apply it once, leave it 24 hours, wash it off, then reapply. So I did that as it said in the instructions, and then I actually then washed it off again and reapplied it, so I actually had 3 coats on, and it was a nice colour. It was very, very natural. I didn't look orange, I didn't look streaky. I had a lot of compliments, people saying, oh, have you been sitting out in the garden, have you been away? And I was like, no, it's this new tan, it's really good. A couple of women at the gym have been, bought it and asked me about it because they've heard I'd done a review and they wanted to know if it was any good or not. But yeah, I mean, marks out of 10, I'd probably say about, a good strong 8, mainly because it didn't last the whole 2 to 3 weeks, but it still lasted a hell of a lot longer than any fake tan that I've ever used before. But I applied it using, bog standard fake tan mitt, which is actually says in the instructions to do that. With the little instruction bit, I can't find it, I've lost it. It tells you how to apply, every single part of your body, so you literally cannot go wrong. If you're a beginner at tanning, then this is fantastic because it will literally give you a step-by-step guide. It also gives you tips on how to keep your tan, looking, I don't know, brown, I suppose, or radiant, whatever you want to call it. It is really, I was really impressed with it, I'm just waiting for the other tans to bring out, a rival product, because this is the only one that I've seen on the market that claims to last as long as this one does. I think if your skin is like quite oily, or maybe not as dry as mine, you'll probably find that it would last a lot longer. I might have to moisturise every day because my skin, you're not supposed to moisturise when you wear this. It says, don't apply moisturiser before, apart from on like your elbows and your knees, but I found that my skin, after applying it, I did it before I went to bed, woke up the next morning, my skin was so thirsty for moisture, but it says not to do it after 24 hours because it can, change the result of the tan. So I laid off the moisturiser for as long as I could, literally slathered it on, and even then my skin did still feel a bit dry because it did dry my skin out so much. Somebody actually commented on my part 1 review saying, to try using the gel or the lotions if you've got dry skin, which I normally do anyway, but I just obviously wanted to see if this would last as long as it says it does. Not on my skin, but I reckon if your skin is normal to oily on your body, then it probably would definitely last you. I didn't exfoliate when I used it, mainly because it told me not to on the instructions, or not that I saw on the instructions anyway, so I didn't actually exfoliate. But I didn't feel that I needed to be honest, until I wanted to take it off, and I literally came off it was last night when I was in the shower, in the bath, and I just had my exfoliating mitts on, and it just did that and it all came off. No residue left, so I'm back to my natural skin colour, which is so pale. So I'm going to, I don't know if I'm going to use this one again, mainly because I think my skin needs some added moisture for a couple of days, just to get me back to my normal moisture levels, and then I probably will go back to it. I don't know if I would buy it again. It is expensive. It's £37.49 in Boots. I bought it when it was on offer. It was only £24.99 when I bought it, which is why I bought it. But yeah, it is an expensive tan. But it still does last longer, twice as long as a normal fake tan, from my experience. So, it's good. It's just, I just wish it was a bit darker, because obviously having to apply 3 layers, that's quite a lot to apply to get a good decent colour, and even then it wasn't really dark. I like my tan dark, like I've just been in the Caribbean for a month or something stupid like that. But yeah, I am impressed with it. I would recommend it if, as I said, if your skin is really dry, then you know, it may work for you, it may just be my skin, you know, it still lasts longer than normal fake tan. You need to really, you know, sit down and think, is it worth paying nearly £40 for a bottle of fake tan when you can buy one for, you know, half the price of that or less, that may last half the amount of time. You need to work it out which is the better value, to be honest. But I mean, yeah, it is good. I'm just wondering whether, you know, the rival tan companies like the Saint-Tropez and Fake Bakes are going to bring out, you know, a rival one that say they last the same amount of time. I mean, it'll be interesting to see if they do, and I would definitely, try them. I mean, Saint-Tropez is my favourite tan make, yeah. I am actually allergic to Saint-Tropez, but I still use it anyway because I do have dry skin and sensitive skin, and I have eczema, and it usually brings out my eczema. This one, however, didn't bring out my eczema, and it does say that it is fragrance free. Yeah, fragrance free, which is really good, and it doesn't have that nasty biscuity what's it smell that it does a lot of fake tans do when it's developed. It didn't smell at all, apart from one time when I got really, really hot and a bit sweaty and clammy, then I could smell it, but apart from that, it didn't smell. So yeah, it's good if you've got sensitive skin, because it's obviously fragrance free. It didn't aggravate my skin. Obviously if you've got, you know, super sensitive skin, then I don't know what it would do, but for me, who I have, you know, sensitive skin, it was good, and it worked, and it did the job, and you know, it lasted not quite as long as it said it would, but it still lasted longer than most fake tans. So yeah, thumbs up for the Vita Liberata. Well done, guys. Yes. So yeah, I think I've covered everything that I was thinking of before. I was going to write it all down, but I couldn't bother, so I just rambled it out. But yeah, I would definitely recommend it. Mainly more if you had oily, normal to like oily skin. If you don't feel that you need to moisturise every day, then definitely this is the tan for you. If you like a dark tan, then obviously you need to apply a lot of it, so it may not be worth it. But apart from that, it's bloody good. I recommend it. 8 out of 10. Well done. Bye.